Family's Summer Edition. As you can see, the barn is currently empty. All the horses that reside up here in the wintertime have moved down to the summer fields, which allows us some time to clean out each quadrant, make any repairs to anything, maintain anything that we need to, remove the mats down the aisle, give everything a good clean, and try to prepare for when they move back up here late fall. As you can see, we've stocked up our straw and hay for the winter, and we've been able to take down some straw bales and put them in each quadrant to make it easier for us to prepare these areas for when the horses move back. We still use the winter barn as a staging point to get grain ready for the horses down in the field. They still receive grain twice a day, even though they're on pasture 24/7. We feed Cavalier feed. Our field horses get Action Mix, which looks like this. Provides all the nutrients that they need on top of the pasture for our retired and as well as our young horses. We get all of our grain in bulk, which saves on bag waste, and we recycle the cardboard boxes because we're trying to help the environment as much as we can. While the horses are in the summer fields, we're letting the winter fields rest, which allows our staff a chance to aerate and fertilize, and we spread our manure on the field, as you can see, which is also going to help build some good topsoil, and this all will help the grass grow better. Let the fields have a little bit of a break now, and then they'll be ready for the horses when they move back up late fall. Before we head down to the summer fields, I wanted to give you a little glimpse of the front of the winter barn and how it overlooks all of the summer fields. You can see some of the herds out there grazing. Our maintenance staff works really hard to keep this grass mowed and trimmed, looking nice, and it's also good for healthy grass growth to keep it trimmed. At the bottom of the hill, the way bottom, is the town of Nelson, which sits about halfway between Cazenovia and Morrisville. And although they can't appreciate it like we can, this is a pretty awesome view. Here we're going to take a look at our farm map so you can get a better idea of what this retirement center looks like. Here is the winter barn. And you can take a look here. We've got winter lot 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the 2 fields associated with each lot. Each lot can hold 15 horses at max capacity. Then you can take a look at where we just were, right here, looking out over our summer fields. Here is summer shed 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the 2 fields associated with each shed in order to rotate so we can keep good grass all summer. Way off in the distance, the town of Nelson. It's right up here. And now we're going to take you to summer shed 4 so you can get an idea of what it looks like in person. We try to keep the pad area clean of manure a couple times a week or whenever it really needs it, which cuts down on flies. Gives the horses a little place to get out of the sun, get out of the weather. Each shed has an automatic waterer inside the shed and free choice plain salt and mineral salt. And here on the outside of the shed, each one has a trough and there's a float in it, so if the water gets down to a certain level, it'll automatically fill, which is nice, and these get cleaned as often as they need it. And when it's time to rotate the field every week and a half or so, all we need to do is open these gates here, call the horses down. We usually try to do it around feeding time because it's easier and they're already on their way down here. Open those gates, let the horses run into the new field, and shut these gates behind, and voila, we've rotated. As you can see, this field is pretty big and a lot of room for them to graze. We do try to separate our herds by dominance, so I have dominant geldings and submissive geldings, and I have dominant mares and submissive mares. This particular herd is dominant geldings. And just to name a few of the horses up there, we have Mumby, Casello, Lionel, Ramses, Lord G, Spirit, Chalando Z, Corfilio T, and Thunderball. Here's a look at our original retirement field. This is one of two. Each field has a shed associated with it with 2 automatic waterers, and we keep them bedded with straw. In the winter months, each of these fields will hold up to 10 horses each. And in the spring, we move those horses off the fields. We get them ready and rejuvenated by aerating, seeding, fertilizing, and letting them rest. And usually we'll have brood mares and foals on the fields through the summer. But since this year we didn't have any, we decided to turn out 1 stallion per field. And this one right here is kind of famous. If anybody recognizes him. Pan American gold medalist, Conquest 2. Here's another barn where we keep our young horses, retired horses, rehabilitation horses. This is our feeder barn. And you get an opportunity to see our famous farrier, Ray Cable, and his son, Chris. He trims all of our field horses and all of our show horses. Thanks for joining us for an inside look into the John Madden Sales Retirement Facility in the summer months. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see all sorts of videos from Team JMS.